All right. Welcome in, everybody. Uh, I don't know. I wasn't going to do this, but I guess I will. And I realize I'm up against some pretty stiff competition right now. You have Sean on Kate Peters' channel. I know the Glare is streaming that, doing some commentary on it. But I wanted to come on today to address just some things that have gone on in the last 48 hours, kind of my take on it. Um, it's obviously referring to Sean on the golf. And if you're watching this live on replay, I just want to come out and publicly state something. I mean, a lot of the times in these things, I take the high road on this stuff. And I've pretty much stayed out of the drama in all of this. I realize, I mean, I've been around on YouTube since 2021. These situations happen. You look at what's kind of going on right now in this Karen Reed bubble that we're all in right now. It's not really a lot going on. There's not really a lot going on. So I think that people are kind of poking and prodding right now to start some drama and mix things up and create some chatter. But I'll get to kind of like what I want to talk about tonight. And again, I'm going to try to take the high road on this one. So I want to talk about us as creators, and if you want to call us so-called journalists and reporters or what we do, independent media. If you want to go with that tagline, here, especially in the state of Massachusetts, boots on the ground, out there at the court hearings, listening to the information around us, or whatever it may be, especially in this case, and especially in Karen's case, we have a major responsibility to make sure that everything that we are reporting is correct. Now, I get it. People get shit wrong. I am wrong on a lot of shit. I say things, but it is our duty to come on here because we have a large audience that chooses to watch the shows that they want to watch. But it is our duty to come on here and make sure that the information that we are putting out there in the ether to people, that it has some reality to it, some substance to it, some receipts. Okay. This bubble, and I'm not trying to make this like an offensive thing, but we're kind of in a sphere. I mean, people know the creators that follow this, the writers that follow, the local media that follows this, the getting out and meeting the Reeds. I kind of call that our world, our bubble that we're in right now. So, a lot of people here in Massachusetts follow this case. It's on a very, very high level. I've been out there. I've been on the ground. I've talked to a lot of people around here. A lot of these people hang on all of the words that we say or any bits and pieces of information that is put out there. Believe me, I know it. I feel it. I've seen it. And what was put out there the other day, that Trooper Proctor was fired. And when I let it sit a little bit and I started kind of Googling around and started reaching out to my contacts and, okay, well, what is the local mainstream media saying here in Massachusetts? I mean, this would be breaking news. I'm not seeing anything. And then you see Christina Rex come out and say it is not true that he has been fired. Turtle Boy started talking about it. And I wanted to reiterate that to my audience, my subscribers, and the people that follow me. When I look in my Facebook feed and I see my friends hanging on that, and I cannot confirm that that is correct, that makes my heart sink. That is a huge thing in this case. That is a huge person that is part of this case. That could shift tides in a major direction. And I'm looking and I'm going, okay, well, where's the proof? Where is the news? Then you start hearing, oh, well, why would they let anybody know about this? They could just hide it and put it behind and not let anybody know. And do you understand the ramifications of that if that information was hidden? I have notes. I have talking points here just to make sure that I'm getting this out clear. It would create so and listen, I'm not a lawyer, okay? I'm not a lawyer at all. But I want to throw a question out there. If Proctor was fired and the Commonwealth or the Mass State Police, and I don't know, maybe a lawyer can answer this for me. I am not a lawyer, okay? If Proctor was fired and the Commonwealth didn't announce that and put that out into the public, would that not be hiding discovery or evidence from the defense of Karen Read, knowing that we're getting ready here and gearing up for a possible second trial? Do you know the ramifications that would have on every single other case that Proctor is involved with, that you would hide that information and hold on to it? I don't know. I'm just logically thinking about it here. Again, I'm not a lawyer, okay? Maybe a lawyer, or if there's a lawyer in the room or someone here that can clarify that for me. But wouldn't that really affect multiple cases that Trooper Proctor is involved with? So, listen, I want to say this, okay? I respect Sean. Sean served our country, okay? I understand he's retired now. He's a big YouTuber. He's got his platform. A lot of people follow him. A lot of people like him. I think he's funny. He's fun. He knows how to rile up a crowd. He says a lot of stuff. I get it. Maybe he's bored and the YouTube thing's keeping him busy. I don't know. But I was super disappointed. I was super disappointed by that the other day. And then on top of that, when I fired out there and just said, hey, I want to be clear, and it wasn't even really a shot. I just said, I want to be clear to everybody to just make everybody understand. I'm not getting any information here that Proctor was fired. I'm seeing the mainstream media is not talking about it around here. And believe me, I think they would be on that pretty fucking quick. It's pretty major around here. Karen Read case is major fucking news around here. You can't walk anywhere around in Massachusetts and someone's not talking about it. I mean, it's pretty major news. People would be all over that in 5 seconds. So that word to me would travel pretty quick. I mean, my phone would be blowing up. And that news would get out there pretty quick. So, look, Sean took that, ran with it, thought I was talking a bunch of shit about it, went behind his paywall on his members only and talked a lot of shit about me. And, look, seriously, you got to do it behind a paywall. And I offered Sean today. Sean came back at me again on Twitter. This is all like Twitter stuff, This is all like infantile Twitter wars. It's so fucking stupid. Sean won't pick the phone up and call me, so I have to come on my live tonight and put my point out there so he understands it. Dude, you haven't been up here. You haven't set one foot on the ground up here. I think the last time you were up here was like March of like 23. So you haven't been here. I know the feeling and the vibe on the ground out here. The people that follow the Karen Read case, the people that are involved every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, standing out for justice for Karen. I know that vibe. I've been there. I've done it. You don't know. You haven't been up here. People up here hang on every single new piece of information or word about Karen Read's case. Believe me, I know. And I get it. You have your sources. We all have our sources. But you can't go out and put stuff out like that, man, unless it's 100% confirmed. You don't know how bad that twists everybody's nerves and heart and whatever you want to put into it around here. I know. I've done it. I've been out there. I've been at the courthouse. I've been at standouts. But you can't do that. This puts like people on high anxiety. And that's my point in all this. And I invited Sean today through Twitter to call me like a man. Call me like a man, Sean. You have my number. I would have told you this tonight. And maybe we would have came to a reasonable agreement in this. This is all I wanted to do, is let him know, dude, like, it's been almost 3 days now. There's no report out there that Trooper Proctor's been fired. I asked one of my very close sources today about it. Have you heard anything yet? Nope, there's nothing. There's no status change. There's no paperwork. But I just hope you understand, as someone on a platform that commands a much larger audience that I have on my channel. I mean, you have averaged like 2,000 people a night. I think that's fantastic. But you've got to make sure the information that you're putting out there is the correct information, because people hang on every word in this case. I mean, we're in a very serious spot in this case right now. Karen just went to the SJC this morning. They're going to be putting a ruling out on that. It's probably going to take a couple of weeks to months, but we're going to hear something, and then we're going forward to a possible trial. Karen's in debt via the Vanity Fair article, $5 million in debt right now. Do you think she needs this anxiety, this headache on YouTube? Do you know how many messages she's probably getting? She doesn't need that anxiety right now. That family doesn't need to go through this. So please, as a responsibility, I'm just saying this to everybody that's involved, that everybody that talks about this case that's on the side of Karen, just make sure the things that you're putting out there, the ideas and thoughts that you're instilling in people's heads, is the correct information. Karen doesn't need this anxiety. The Reeds don't need this anxiety. The people that sacrifice and stand out on these streets every single weekend don't need this anxiety. The people that call into work and skip work to go into Karen's hearings or to a fundraiser or whatever, they don't need this anxiety. We don't need it here. Let's just do a little bit better of a civic duty here to the people and our subscribers and members, the people that pay here on these channels to help us out, to create this and have the independent media sources. I look for my information to one of the closest sources to this. Turtle Boy would have known right away. Would have been talking about it. Probably would have instantly went live and been laughing about it. Well, here we finally got it. Proctor's fired. And now this has all spun this war up with Aiden and Sean. It's ridiculous. Because Sean has some beef with Aiden. And I'm not going to get involved in it, okay? I'm not getting involved in it all. And I appreciate Aiden said some very nice things about me last night on his live. I let him know. I texted him today. But let's just do a little bit better here, okay? Because you're down in Florida, Sean. We're up here. Our ear is very close to the curb. Our ear wants new information. We got to make sure that it's 100%. You can't put that out there. You're having these people hang on this stuff. And then when it doesn't have any fruit to it and it's not becoming that, it's a problem. It's a problem. I didn't want to do this. This is not me. This is not what I wanted to do with this platform. And I understand sometimes you're going to have stuff like this that comes up. And I got sick and tired of hearing about it and seeing it. And I wanted to address it and make sure and guarantee you, I know I'm going to get attacked about this. That's fine. But I'm trying to come out on the higher road, the better road here of all of this. We need to do a little bit better. I mean, perfect example. I was just watching. I'm going to admit it. Everybody's watching it right now. I was just clipping into the Masshole Mafia stream with Sean and Kate and all them. Let me pull this up. This is what I'm talking about right here. I'm going to pull an example up right now. Ironically, this just happened just before I went live. Just before I went live, this just happened. This is my example. This is my example. Let's play it.
It's the easiest to prove. I taught it for 7 years in the New England Field Division. That was my baby conspiracy. But hold on. Do you actually think that they're going to have receipts when they're trying to cover up? No, listen, I'm here. I'm willing to answer your questions. I'm just telling you. Do you think, hypothetically, I'll give you this, hypothetically, Kate, you really think Mr. O'Keefe would actually tell you? Seriously. But
I wouldn't even say I know that he wants justice for his son. And I know
me too.
So we can agree on that. He wants justice for his son. And I know that he would not be complicit in hiding information, let alone actively hiding information that would further the goal of getting justice for his son. Because I know 110% that is what he wants, as well as that is what his wife wants and his grandchildren want, and his all of John's family and his friends too. That's what they want. He was a really loved guy. That's one thing that after, and again, I try to take things from all angles. That's why I'm willing to talk to you. I've talked to other Free Karen Read people. I've talked to, almost everybody involved in this case, right? At this point, because I like to look at things from all angles.
Okay.
And so so I know after looking at this from all angles, though, that John was a very loved person, and that all of the people who loved him are very invested in him being memorialized, respected, and having justice. So no, if John O'Keefe Jr. was aware of this information, then I don't think I would be the first person that he tells, but he would have told the police or anyone else that needs to know that. And certainly when I asked directly, I do not believe that he would lie. I do not know him to be a liar. So no, I don't know who is claiming, but I mean, again, you're talking about third-hand information, Sean.
Right.
And I think I gave you this example earlier. I could say that during one of our phone conversations that you said that Karen Read admitted to murder on a Zoom call with 5 people. And that would be a lie, right? Because Karen Read never did that. And you never told me that. But I'm handing this off as third-hand information to somebody else. If they run with that, harms your reputation. It harms Karen. And it's not accurate. It's not fair. So, I mean, that's what you're doing when you're saying somebody told me that somebody told me that somebody told them that this is what happened. It's not sufficient. And I mean, honestly, most of the time, the reason that now
what he's saying, if you're hearing, goes, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. This is my point. I'll play a little bit more of this.
About conspiracy, and you taught class, that was your wheelhouse, right? Is because conspiracies often fall apart. And what I would point to is how much information is coming out about the inner workings of what's happening with Aiden and Karen, right? It's been about a year and a half since all this started. And I know that I personally know a shit ton of the inner workings. I've seen group messages. I've seen texts. I understand about the rolling rally. I understand who told Aiden to run Jen McCabe's plates. I know about all this stuff, right? Because that's how conspiracies unravel, right?
But show me what you got. I'll show you what I have. You show me what you got. Show me.
What in particular would you like to see, Sean?
Everything.
Okay.
Everything. Well, let me get back to one more thing. I didn't make up that Mary Beth Frisoli was given the keys to John Jr.'s pool house. I didn't know that. I don't know if Mary Beth Frisoli fell on me, I wouldn't know who she was.
Okay, but I mean, again, but what bearing does it have on anything that Mary Beth had keys to the pool house? Mary Beth was a girlfriend of John's. I mean, again, who told you that? Was it Karen?
No, not at all. Okay. Not at all. Hold on. Right? There were specific things. I know Mary Beth knows that she knows that I know what I'm talking about. And no one knew that. No
Okay,
one.
but what bearing does that have on? I mean, how is that pertinent at all?
Let me finish.
Okay.
All right. Listen, Carl, come on, Carl. You know Mary Beth Frizzoli too, right? Someone very close to Mary Beth Frizzoli, some distant cousin or whatever, right? She confided in, and she said, "I feel so bad." Listen,
Again, you're going into third-hand information here. This is not something that came from Mary Beth.
All right. So when the picture,
Not circumstantial evidence is not. I mean,
So anyway, that is what I'm kind of getting at. Okay, that's what I'm kind of getting at. We don't need that here. Okay, you're really having a lot of people hang on stuff around me, and they look up to Sean. They look up to Sean. Sean served our country. I respect that. As a DA agent, was in 35 or 34 years as an officer and an agent. You know, but you got to make sure you got to do better. You got to do better. And I wish I had the opportunity to talk to him on the phone. I said it on Twitter today. Sean, you know, it must be a slow day. Let's talk like men. You have my number. Give me a call. He's too busy. You know, he's too busy. I'm on a stream, and then I got to stream after that. He's a big YouTuber now. I got to stream and then stream, and I can stream after that. So Sean didn't want to call me, but you know, listen, Sean has my phone number. He can call me if he has an issue with me. The BLT thing, you know, it's infantile. I like BLTs. You know, it's cute. It's funny. I get it. Riles up your crowd, gets people to hate me, gets people to unsubscribe from me. I get it. I get it. You know, I get the little game now. There's not much going on. So we have to start creating some drama. I'm going to attack him now. Maybe next week I'll go after this person. It's cute. It's funny. But, you know, I'm not going to play the game. I think it's fucking stupid. And Sean, you have my number. So if you want to call me, we can call and talk like adults. And I'm just going to tell you, you need to do a little bit better because, again, I've been down here. You haven't been up here once. You haven't been here. You stay down in Florida. You don't come up here. Didn't come up during the trial. I mean, we had Melanie Little here. We had Mark Betterow. The Glare came up. You know, a lot of people came up for the trial. I think Sean was complaining the other day that he never got invited. Sean, just catch a flight and come up. They would have accommodated it for you. They would have accommodated it for you to go in and sit in the trial if you wanted to do that. But you know, I'm up here. I'm on the ground. I talk to the locals. I know how they feel about the Karen Reed case. This is very, very important to them. A lot of people up here put their heart, sweat, and tears into everything. You know, they're making items to help raise money for Karen. They're opening up, for Christ's sake, the Star Drive-In is always doing things over there to help try to drive donations for Karen. Every little bit of money that we can do that to help her in her defense to fight this back. But when you're putting information out there that's not 100% clear and you know, conceptual to the audience that you're saying that's wrong. That's wrong. You cannot do that. You're misleading a lot of people in this, and you're putting a lot of theories out there and a lot of information that's going to cause a lot of anxiety in people, a lot of anxiety, and it's spinning people left and right. Believe me, I'm getting a lot of messages about this. So let's do a little bit better. Okay. Let's make sure that things are on the up and up when we put it out there. And, you know, that's basically all I have to say. And look, I understand. Probably going to get some shit for this. That's fine. You can think whatever you want to think about it. I'm here to make sure that everything is put out, you know, to the best of our abilities, to the best. I get it. We don't get everything right. We don't. But when you say something major like that, you got to have some kind of receipt there. You got to have some kind of receipt. So anyway, I just want to do this really quick. I saw a couple of super chats come in, some memberships. Just address those really quick. The Goodmans, thank you for gifting one membership. I appreciate that. Lauren is joined the membership group. Thank you, Lauren. I appreciate that. Billy for the 10, he says, you are so genuine. Keep up that integrity, brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Sandra, thank you. Says, thank you for all you do and how reasonable you are. I listen, I'm trying to take the high road in all of this. Yeah, there is anxiety down here. There is anxiety down here, Garrett. There is. Because you know why? People hang on every single piece of information and every word. Are you here? Are you here? Have you been to the standouts? Have you gone out and spoke to the locals here in Massachusetts, how they talk about this case? You probably haven't. You probably live somewhere else. I know the vibe down here. I know the conversation. Have you heard this? Have you seen that? Do you know about that? Brian, have you heard about this? Do you know about any of this information? I just heard this the other day. Yeah, it is pretty high anxiety. People invested a lot of time and emotion in this case. Fucking skip work to go out and sit for 10 weeks out in front of that courthouse. I know personal people that took leave of absences to go out and be out in front of that courthouse for 10 weeks during this trial. I know people that have done that have sacrificed work to go do that. I know people that came to me and said, holy shit, I don't know if I can be here too much often. I've been calling in too much and my boss is coming at me and saying, I know where you are and you can't keep up this behavior or you're going to be gone. I know it. So don't say that there's not anxiety and stuff like that going on around here. There is. It's a highly stressful case. A lot of people have put a lot of time and emotion into this. Believe me. So whether you want to believe me or not, that's fine. I'm telling you, I've been here. I've talked to the people down here. I know the vibe. So anyway, I want to just come on and do this tonight. Not a major big deal. Sean, my invitation's open to you. If you'd like to call me, you have my phone number. Let's have a conversation. We can square it up and move on and hear your point of view. I'll hear my point of view. And someday, if we ever meet, we can have a beverage. I don't drink, but we can have a beverage together, whatever it is. But that is it. This is what I wanted to come on and say. And I'll be back on Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll talk to actually 8 p.m. I'm sorry. And I'll talk to everybody then. Have a great night. See ya. Bye-bye.